What if I told you the biggest opponent you will ever face on the basketball court isn't the other team, isn't the star player guarding you, and isn't even the pressure of the final shot? The biggest opponent you'll ever face is the person staring back at you in the mirror. More specifically, it's the gap between who you are right now and who you have the potential to become. Today, we're not just talking about basketball. We're talking about a mental revolution. We're diving deep into a concept that legends have used to shape their destiny. A principle championed by Napoleon Hill in his classic Think and Grow Rich. The secret: you must become the person you want to be in your mind, long before you see the results on the court. You don't wait to become great. You decide to be great right now. Think about it. Every great player you admire, they weren't born with a championship trophy in their hands. They were born with a vision, a burning desire. They saw the future version of themselves, the champion, the MVP, the legend, and they started acting like that person every single day. They didn't hope to become a great shooter. They identified as a great shooter and put in the work to prove it. They didn't wish they were a lockdown defender. They adopted the mindset of a lockdown defender every time they stepped on the floor. This isn't just positive thinking. This is a deliberate, conscious transformation. It starts in the quiet moments. When you're alone, visualize yourself playing the perfect game. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the texture of the basketball in your hands as you release a perfect shot. Hear the satisfying swish of the net. Feel the energy of the crowd, the confidence surging through your veins as you lock down your opponent. Feel the grit, the sweat, the exhaustion, and the ultimate triumph. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By repeatedly feeding it this image of your future self, you are programming your body and mind to make it a reality. You are building the neurological pathways for success. Let's look at the NBA. The stories are everywhere. Think of Jimmy Butler. He wasn't a top draft pick, he wasn't handed anything. But he carried himself with an unshakable belief that he was one of the best players in the world. He willed himself into that reality through sheer mental fortitude and an insane work ethic. He decided who he was going to be, and the world eventually had no choice but to agree. He became Playoff Jimmy because in his mind, he was always that guy, just waiting for the stage to prove it. Or what about Steph Curry? He changed the game of basketball. But before he was the greatest shooter of all time, he had to believe it. He had to take shots that others deemed impossible. He had to have a level of self-belief that bordered on delusional to the outside world. He saw himself as a game changer, and he trained, practiced, and played with that identity every single day. His physical skills are incredible, but they are powered by an even stronger mental conviction. He knew who he was before anyone else did. So, how do you do this? How do you start becoming your future self today? First, you need absolute clarity. Who is the future you? Be specific. Don't just say a better player. What does that mean? Is the future you a dead-eye shooter who knocks down 40% from three? Is he a defensive anchor who communicates and rotates perfectly? Is she a floor general who stays poised under pressure and makes everyone around her better? Write it down. Create a detailed blueprint of this person. What are their habits? How do they train? How do they eat? How do they react to a missed shot or a tough loss? Second, you live it. You start embodying those characteristics now. If your future self is the first one in the gym and the last one to leave, you start doing that tomorrow. No excuses. If your future self is a student of the game, you start watching more film, breaking down plays, and learning from the greats tonight. If your future self is a leader, you start encouraging your teammates and taking accountability in your very next practice. You close the gap between your actions and your identity. You don't practice to get good. You practice because you are good, and this is what good players do. This process is a battle. Your old self, your old habits, your doubts, they will fight back. They'll tell you you're not good enough. They'll whisper that you should take the day off. They'll scream at you after a bad game. This is the moment of truth. This is where you conquer your mind. When that voice of doubt creeps in, you have to talk back to it. You have to remind yourself of the identity you've chosen. Acknowledge the feeling, but don't surrender to it. Say to yourself, I hear that doubt, but the player I am becoming doesn't listen to it. The player I am becoming gets back up and makes the next shot. Look at the story of Giannis Antetokounmpo, from selling trinkets on the streets of Greece to a two-time MVP and NBA champion. Do you think he got there by accident? No. He had a vision, he had a goal, and he had a mindset that was even bigger than his incredible physical gifts. He famously said after winning his first MVP, "This is just the beginning." He was already focused on the next level, the next version of himself. Even at the pinnacle of success, his mind was already in the future, pulling his present self forward. This is the power you hold. Your physical training is crucial, but if your mind isn't right, you're building a mansion on a foundation of sand. Your mind is the architect of your entire career. It dictates your work ethic, your resilience, your confidence, and your ceiling. The drills, the weights, the conditioning, they build the body. But the visualization, the self-talk, the unwavering belief in your future self, that builds the champion. So I ask you again, who do you want to be? Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for a coach to tell you you're great. Stop waiting for the stats to prove it. The future you is not some distant person you hope to meet one day. The future you is a decision you make right now. It's a choice, a commitment, an identity that you adopt and then defend with every fiber of your being. The court is your canvas. Your mind is the brush. Your belief is the paint. Go out there and paint your masterpiece. Become the player you were always meant to be. Starting today, the game is waiting. More importantly, your future self is waiting. Don't keep them waiting any longer. Thanks for watching. Now go get to work.